Hey, what's up, guys and girls? I'm cracking on with the third roll series. Today we are looking at when we open with a 4-3 and bring two men down, which is the number one XG play by a little bit, better than splitting to the 21 or 20, although they're acceptable. So we start with 4-3, bringing two down. Whatever opponent rolls, what are the follow-ups? So we're going to go through them all. And they're not too bad in general because, say, we start with him running with a 6-5, nearly everything makes points. So they're not too many conundrums. 6-3 is probably the first, one of the only difficult ones here. And it's the old question of do we make the bar or the 3-point? And in this spot, the 3-point's right. We're just going to have a look, plus plus. Making the bar versus one man back is a pretty trashy structure. If he just escapes and we don't have a point in board by popping out with a, 3-6 or 4-5, it's by miles correct to make this 3-point. Something interesting in isolation, say he had two men back and say he just didn't roll and now we've got the 6-3 to play. Would you make this, knowing that the 3-point was right after he ran, would you make the bar or the 3-point now? And it turns out the bar's right by a fair bit. It's almost an error to make the 3. It was a double error not to make the 3 before. So I think it's a very clear rule, basically, that when he's got two men back, the bar just goes up so much in value. And you can make the bar with a 6-3, but when he's only got one man back, like I bet my bottom dollar here with a 6-3, it's going to be right to make the 3-point. Let's just check it. Yeah, by a mile. Any other illustrations I can make? Yeah, it's just pretty standard. If you know this, two men back on the ace, bar goes up in value. It makes sense. He's getting primed. He's got to escape 2, so that's a good one. 6-1 was vaguely interesting. They're close. That's the one. Do you make which bar do you play? Sorry, you either make your own bar or you come out and make the 9. I think it's right just slightly to come out and make the 9. I guess we're ahead in the race by 7 pre-roll, and I should have played him out with a 6-5. I guess we're down 4, but we rolled 7, so the race is very even. Maybe if you make the bar, you're just leaving too many flies. So it's marginally better just to step out and make the 9 and tidy up these blots and play for contacts and an anchor. The 6 is a dupe, that looks kind of pretty. Double 3. I think we've seen this before where when he's got one man back, you make the board 5 and 3-point, even though it leaves 3 blots. It just puts him under so much pressure with that one blot. If he ever leaves a shot anywhere on either side of the board, he's toast, well, not necessarily toast, but in bad shape if we hit him against this. And look what we're threatening next time. What's he going to do here? Even if he hits, we get returns. That's a fair bit better than making the anchor. Same with double 2. Actually, double 2. Yeah, double 2's. But double 2 this time, I was thinking, do we make the 4 and the 9? But no, with double 2, it's right to make the 22. I guess it's good on both sides of the board. Just leaves him the extra 4, 5, 6, 3. And he's got no points in board. It's not the end of the world if you get hit by a fly. So that was clear. So there's slight differences between the double 2 and double 3. I guess the value of the 4-point rather than the 3. Compared to double 3, it's worth making those 2 points. Okay, so say he starts off with 6-4, he's going to run, that's the right play. 6-2, you just make the 4-point, you don't hit because there's no 6. But 5-2, it's right to double hit, and we've seen lots of times when he's only got one man back to send 2 back and put them on the bar with a double hit early, and we got 6 on the 5-point, unleashing. I think it's very easy just to make the 4-point here, but the double hit was right. Let's just have a look at it. Yeah, error not to double hit. Yeah, it's very easy to go wrong here. Like 6-2, it's right to make the 4 not hit, but 5-2, just that bonus of having the second checker up in the air. 4-2, same thing. You make the 4 point. It's like the 6-2. And 3-2, quite difficult. You don't make the bar. You hit and just come onto the 8, I think. I'm just looking at my notes here. I can't quite remember this one. Or hit and split is close, but not the bar. Guess we're down in the race. Yeah, so this play or this play, or this play or this play. Bar's like a blunder. Yeah, so it's only 6-2 and 4-2. We're making the 4 point. Everything else hits. Double 4. I think we just come out. It's not that often it's right with the double 4, but here we come out all the way. Up 13 after the roll, escapes completely. Put pressure on the open blot. 5 away. He can't do everything if he hits. There's millions of returns. If we come up and make the 20 and the 4, we leave 3 blots, or the 2 points just too far. It's not thematic. When we bring 2 down with the 4-3, we're looking to prime. If we make the 2 point, it's not part of that reduced 8 point. So this just makes sense thematically. Yeah. There's another way to play the 6-4 opener. He can go like this. It's pick 'em, I think, with the 6-4, whether to run or to do that for opponents. So say he does this. I think the only things that are different that we need to know is the 5-3, 5-2, 5-1. They're all double hit by a mile. Even the 5-1 where we can make the 5 point. Yeah. So anytime you can double hit in this structure where he's got one, otherwise he's got one man back, and when you've got 5 on that 6 ready to unload, it's just right. Double 3 is a bit tricky. Just not to split, just to come down and play the blitz. Sorry, you do split with the last, yeah. Sorry, it's not tricky. It's just a question, he makes the 3 point, not the 5. Yeah, that's it's not a difficult one actually, that one. Okay, so 4-3, he rolls 6-3, we get hit, we're on the bar, so most of them are going to play themselves. 5-2 just skips out to the bar. 4-1, not particularly easy, but when you see the duplication of the 4s, it's a blunder not to slot the 5. 4s are so nicely duped, and there's not really a convenient other one. I mean, the only other one is coming to the 20 or splitting, and he's got all those men ready to attack. Same with 2-1, we're coming on the 23 and the 5. Just no other, don't really want to make the 23. Double 4 is a bit of a question. So we come in and hit. Oh no, do we? Yeah, come and hit. We don't make our own 5 because we're so far down in the race. This just looks nice, doesn't it? I mean, the 5 point, we're hitting. Yeah, we can't just come in and make the 5 and we're down 21 pips. Well, we rolled double 4, but still, this just puts us so clear favourite. It doesn't make a point, but well, it makes the 9, which is useful. And his 4s are nicely duped, so yeah, that looks clear. Not too tough. If we get hit by the 6-2 instead of the 6-3 opener, so we come down with, let's just put it back. Yeah, we've done the 6, no, yeah, so he rolls 6-2, hits us, puts us on the bar. Oh, some tricky ones here. So basically 6-5, 6-4 and 6-3, it's right to slot the 7, to slot the board. So to come in and slot the 5. Slot the 4 here, marginal. Yeah, 6-4, 6-3 is going to be the same, like even 6-3. by a long way this time. Slot the board rather than that. But 6-1, 6-2, you're going to see now it's right to split to the 18. I guess we just haven't got enough chance to make an anchor if we come in on the ace or deuce and split. If we come in on the 3, 4, 5, we're quite high up anyway. It's the only other logic I can really see for it. Yeah, so look, it's clearly right. It's not easy. 3-6 to know to slot the board, and the 2-6 to and the 1-6 the same to come out to the bar, but by quite a long way as well. 5-2. Have a think what you do here. I mean, I think for a second I thought about coming on the 23 and slotting the 5, but it's right just to play for the anchor and coming on the 20s clear. And then you've got to tidy up the block 10 to 8. It looks like an ugly play, stacking and leaving 2 on the ace. I think I even thought about coming on 20 and splitting to the 22. This is just a difficult opening play to find. Error not to do it. Difficult. Double 5, what would you do here? Come in. Options are to come down and make 3 or make the ace, and where's the last one? Yeah, I mean, it's clear to make the ace. You come in, make the ace, it looks ugly, but it's right, and then where's the last one? Do you come out or down? And it's right just to come down. I mean, coming out just gives way too much. Even that's better than that. So this is just the right play. Looks okay, actually. Double 4, come in, hit, and we, yeah, I mean, this, I don't need to show you this, it's just better to make the 20 than the 4, which would lose the 8. And double 2, any play you want is pick 'em, pretty much. There's so many plays here. You know what, just take my word for it. Look, don't need to wait to load this up. So moving on, we roll 4-3, opponent rolls 6-1, everything's straightforward, you just make points, basically. Double 4 was the only vaguely interesting one. I was thinking 20 point, obviously, and 9 and maybe 6, but it's just so bad to stack up the 6 that it's right to make the deuce. You don't want to lose the 8 and leave 3 blots either. So it's 20 and deuce, looks kind of weird, but makes sense. Not that hard to find. Moving on, 4-3-5-4 is the same as, he's going to hit on the outside, it's the same as 4-3-6-3. 4-3-5-3 is the same as 4-3-6-2, we get hit on the outside. So we can move straight on to 5-2 response from opponent, which he would split. Like, obviously we're about to prime him, he doesn't bring 2 down, he's going to split. Everything makes an inner board point where you can, except 4-2, where it's right to make the 9. Not that easy, just safety the 8, but when he's got those 4 on the 8 and 6, we know we're not desperate, so we're not really getting primed, and he's ready to unload. There's no need to split, we know this theme. But, you know, it's so easy just to make the 4 point like you would with loads of other numbers, leaving the 6, like 5-1 or 6-2 or something. But no, you just tidy up, make the 9. Winning the race, got a better board, everything. Only the things he's splitting, you're not. Like, if 4-2, you do that, but 6-2, I would say make the 4 point. I haven't checked it. Yeah, miles ahead of the bar. So you don't mind leaving the 6. That doesn't even leave a direct shot. Sorry, it's a bit different. So yeah, everything makes a point except 4-2. 2-1. I think that's the only split number. Instead of making the bar, you make the 9 and play to the 22. I think 6-1 you do the same. 6-1 you come out and, yeah, this is clear. Over the bar. Bar's just not that good when you split. So you do that and split. 6-1 I think is the same. They're the only numbers you split with after this sequence. 6-1 and 2-1. That's obvious by a mile. Yeah, was there anything else? I think that's it. 4-3-5-1. He's going to slot the 5 because all our 4s are good anyway. And this was the one I found the hardest. These are really difficult. Have a think, first of all, what would you do with the 6-5? Would you run or would you make the 4 point? That's right to run, I think. And I think the reason is, if he hits you on the outside with all those fly shots, you're going to have the shot back at that 5. He'll never make the 5 point. If he makes the 5 point, you don't want to be stuck back with 2. And you can always make the point later next roll. You're really well set up. You don't care if he hits you because he's not making the 5. Otherwise, you've escaped a man, and say he covers the 5, you're going to make a point next time. So it's clear. This time, when you think it through, 6-3. I was thinking about 18 and 10, but it's not. Just too bad when you roll 6-2 or 1-2, 6-3, 1-3. Just make your own bar. Again, super strong making your bar. It's nearly always right when he's got 2 back on the ace. And he might not cover. Look what trouble he's in now if he rolls, I don't know, 5-6 or something. Slot the deuce point. 2 down, it's like horrible for him. Yeah, 2 men on the ace. I mean, obviously, 3 point was an option as well, but like that rule we said at the start. 5-4, we have a choice between making the 5 or hitting when it's right to hit, and I guess we just come out, puts a solid race lead, big favourite. If we make the 5, he just makes the 5, it's close game. 4-3, same reasoning, we hit and make the 10. 4-2, we hit and make... 4-2, I think we hit and just make the 8. And 2-1, we make our bar because he's got 2 back. Yeah, so basically you hit when you can. What about 3-1? It's close, but right to make the 5. So you make the 5 with the 3-1, everything else you hit. Double 5, it's right to slot the 5 point with the last one. Obviously we're going to make the 3, and the question is, do we slot the 5 or 4? And I think a lot of like intermediate players would slot the 4 thinking, oh, it duplicates 3s, but it's so clearly right to slot the 5. You know, if you do this, you're just giving him 3s to cover, 3s to hit. You make the right play, you're giving him 4s, 1s and 3s. But the value of the 5 point is just so much bigger than the 4. It's just right to slot it. Double 3, make the board. We've seen this before. When he's got a blot, you just want to make the board as quickly as possible in case he doesn't cover it. And also, okay, you're leaving 3 blots in a row, but if he hits that, look what trouble he's in after this play. Got returns with everything, you might not even hit. Double 1, obviously you're not going to waste it hitting the whole double 1. We make the 7 and 5. We're winning the priming game, but not the race. Just, you know, that makes sense. Okay, so when we play 4-3, he's right to play 4-3 back at us like this, I think. 9 and 10. They were all pretty easy, I found, except double 4, where it's right to make the 16 by a mile. Just be careful here. There were other plays available. I think the only time you don't hit, you hit whenever you can after the sequence, except double 3, where we make the 21 and 3. Looks kind of nice and winning the race and no shots and pressures both those blots. That one's obvious. That was it for the 4-3-4-3 sequence. 4-3-4-2. So it's difficult. This time we've got 6-5. What would you do here? Would you run or make the point? And I know because I've looked at it that this time it's right to make the point. Kind of makes sense, you know. Before he hadn't covered, but now it's clearly right. You're 12 pips up, no shots. Both got a similar game, just want to make the more passive play. You go there, you're leaving blots versus a better board, it's just thematic. Yeah, so after 5-1 and 4-3, it was right to run, but after he makes a point, obviously after we'll come on to the 3-1s, but obviously it's going to be right. Well, it's actually it's a bit different here because you're getting prime more, and you make a weaker point. Would you run or make the 4 here? So far right to make the 4, but here it's virtually pick 'em, but it's right to run. Shows the power of the 5. See, this is actually a really good example of like opening theory. So when you know you're winning the game after this, and now you make the 5 point, it's clear you're winning the game. You're up 12 pips, both got the 4 point. It's right just to go slow, passive. Here, you know, he's got the 5 and we got the 4. He's winning the priming game. You don't want to make the 4. You just run because you're getting primed. I mean, it's close, but that's just a good example of the opening logic, I think, that I've learned from so many of these things, and I hope you agree or pass something on. Yeah, just looking at my notes. Were there any other interesting ones? 2-1. This is a rare exception where he's got 2 back on the ace point, and it's right to split and make the 9. I guess the priority this time is he's made a point. So if we make the 9, it leaves no flush shots on the outside when he's got a stronger board, but we get to split as well and make a point. It just does everything. Maybe we can make the bar another point later. Same idea with double 1. It's right to split. I mean, yeah, that one's obvious. It does everything. Okay. Moving on. Racing through them this morning. 4-3, and he rolls 4-1. He's going to slot, drooping our 4s, playing aggressively. Yeah, I mean, our 4s are so good anyway, he's right to slot. Everything's the same as after 4-3, 5-1, you know, which we've already looked at. I think the only exception was 4-2. So after 5-1, it was right to hit and come to the 8, tidying up. But here, you can see the difference, that we hit and come up from the back, because then we got 2 blots pressuring that open blot with 4s and 6s. Like if he hits us back, we're on the bar, but all those returns will make the 5 point next time. So you can kind of feel that this is right. It looks nice, doesn't it? But even though it's 4 blots, double pressures that, makes sense. Everything else the same except double 3. Have a think what you do here. After the 5-1 we made the board, but here it's right by a lot to step up and make the 3. I guess it pressures both blots and you're about to get primed so much. It pressures 2 blots. I mean, unless he rolls a 4, you've got a direct shot. So that makes total sense. So logical, the computer, innit? Some beautiful opening sequences. 4-3, 3-2. You all knew it's right to play 22 and 10, right? Because you watched my opening response series a year ago. I think they're all the same. Nothing difficult except 3-2, where we double hit. We've seen this theory before. Stops him from doing something, unloads a 6, puts 2 in the air. We can attack next time with all those men in the zone. And 2-1, yeah, I don't even think this is difficult. We make the 9 and 22. I don't know why I've got written that one down. Okay, what about if he rolls 3-1? We looked at the 4-2 response. Is 3-1 any different? We've already looked at the 6-5 was marginally better to run. Everything else is the same except double 4. Obviously it's blocked now. What do we do? And the right answer is to make the 4 and 2. It's just too ugly to make the 5 point and stack that 6th checker on the 6th. It's too inflexible. But not an easy play to find, assuring the 5 point and leaving blots like this. But I guess you're just so well placed if he doesn't hit to make the 5 with a bar next time. And if he does, you've got lots of returns even though he's got the 5 point. If we do this, it's just so ugly. I think you can see you want to avoid that pretty much at all costs. What are you going to play next time? How'd your 5s play, for example? Yeah, I think everything else was similar to 4-2. If he responds with a 2-1, same theory, he's going to dupe off 4s and play the counter priming game. Everything's the same as if he rolled 4-1, except 2-1. Where it's right to play 22 and 9. Split. Let's just have a look. Yeah, fair bit. Almost an error not to. So 22 and 9 is right after that. I think it was right after the 4-1 as well. Let's just have a look. But 5-1 when he came down. No. I think this is wrong because you step up to be hit with 6s here. That's why. It's too much. So here, let's pick him. This is right. After 5-1, it's definitely right to make the bar when he's got 2 back. 4-1, it's pick him, and 2-1, it's clearly right to split. Okay, makes sense when you've got the shot at the 6. Moving on to the doubles. Double 6 is often a difficult one. Such a different game plan once he comes out and winning the race by such a huge margin. It's different to everything else. Yeah, 6-4 we make the 4 point, 6-3 we make the 3 point. They're not hard. You know, we don't make the 10 or the 9. Doesn't do much once he's got the 18. Just looking at my notes. 3-1, let's just have a look at that. When we split and make that. Sorry, I've just forgotten. I think everything else, possibly we slot the 5. So we can't slot the 5 here. This one's going to be obvious. Yeah. 4-2. This time we split and make the 9 point. Instead of the 4, instead of the 4 point, you know, does 2 things, I guess. Makes an outside point, and it dupes the 3s to some extent. But this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So the 4-2 is right to make 9 and 22. No, well, they pick them. But the 4 points were on by a bit. But 4-1, we do make the 5 point. And it's by quite a bit. You know, 4-1, I'd be tempted to play 20 and 9. But a lot of the time, say after 4-1, a lot of the time, like he's got a lot of nothing numbers here. You know, unless he hits or rolls with 3. He was 6-5 or 6-2, or I don't know, 5-1, 4-3. No, he hasn't got that many great numbers, so you just make this play. Double 1. Sorry, what am I doing? Double 5. This is quite quite pretty, well, not pretty, but unusual to make the 1 point here. You think you come in and make the 3 and slot one of the 5 or 4, but you slot both. I guess basically the race is close now. Even though it's rolled double 6, you counter with double 5. Not a lot in it, you don't want to get hit. So this is right by a lot, even though it looks kind of weird. Still makes a point in board and slots the points you want to make. Doesn't get hit back, but not that easy to find. Double 2. This is pretty tough as well. 22 and 4 point, I think is right. So we need to advance a bit, not stay back again once he's made the bar, but we're not in a rush in a losing racing game to come to the 20, leaving the double. We do leave the double block, but we need a point in board because he's about to play and he's obviously got some kind of awkward numbers like I just showed you. So I don't think this is super easy to find, but it's the right play. Yeah. How about after double 5? Again, we're losing the race. Everything's straightforward except double 4 where it's right to make the 20 and 2 point. We saw before we don't make. Well, let's just have a look. It's not that easy. I guess once he's rolled double 5, it's just so big to come here. We can't get blitzed or primed or, it levels up the race pretty much. So the 20 is clear. And then 9 and 6 is just too ugly. So this is right. Even that's better than that. We just don't want to have this structure in the openings. But this isn't so easy to find. Maybe. 4-3 double 4. He's going to play it like that. Not hit. Pressures both our blots. Makes the 20 and the 9. We know that one. 4-3. We play to the 20 and 10. Guess it duplicates 4 for him. Makes that better point. I mean, it's just a question of coming to the 21 and 9, or 10 and 20, and 10 and 20 is better. But 3-2, same thing, we make the 10. So this 10 point is obviously quite important. Blocks him in a lot better than and more returns when he hits the inside when we got the outside point than the outside if we got the inside, if that makes sense. Double 2, didn't find this easy at all. It's right to make the 20 by a long way. I guess if you come up to the 22, you're just still primed with that man 6 and 5 away. And here, if he hits you, he's leaving the anchor. The race is close. So we've seen so many times he makes an anchor, it's our priority. My logic before would have been, okay, he's on roll, we're losing the race, we've got 2 blots. Don't particularly want to come up and get in a racing game, but I guess this is just pretty bad when we're still primed. But I don't think that's easy. Be interested to know how many players would have found that 20 point if they hadn't studied. 4-3 double 3. We know it's right to make the 21 and 5. Make the 5 point when we've got those open blots, pressure. 6-5. I would have been tempted to slot the 5 and play the 3, but it's right to run. Let's just see by how much. Quite a bit. So obviously we've seen quite a few times after we roll 4-3 and he makes this advanced anchor with a double straight away, we don't mind leaving the double shot. I guess we're losing the race anyway, and well, not in this scenario, but it just he's breaking the anchor if he hits us, and we've got lots of returns, so it's not as scary as it looks. 6-3, 18 and 10, yeah, 10 points big here. 6-1, hits right by a mile, and 3-2, similar to before, 22 and 10, making that 10 point. It's quite big. After 4-3 double 2, we're just going to play like that, not hitting or making the 20, but we just know this is right, pressuring a block, making a point, making an anchor. 6-3. Have a think, what would you do with 6-3 here? Can't make the 3 point anymore. Do we make the 8? It's the bar? No. We come out and make the 10. And it's right by a mile. Blunder to do anything else. Guess duplicates the 6s. We don't want to stay back once he's made the 4 point. And he's made an anchor. We need to try and make an anchor. Not be stuck back forever. 4-2. I don't think we make the 5, so it's 9 and 22. Splits and makes the 0.6 away. It's big, it's not that hard. Double 2. This time, it's right to make the 4 and the 9, not to come up to the 20 and 4, to the 20 or the 22 and 4. This is right by a mile. I guess this 0.6 away is just so crucial once he's made the 22. 22 points are really crap. The 3 point game is a really crappy game. And once you make that 9 point, he hasn't even got the race equity from it really. He's sort of primed. How does he get out? So whenever he's there, just focus on making the 9 if you can. And the last one of the video, I know you're disappointed it's finished so soon. Is after the old double 1. Everything's straightforward except double 4. But after watching the rest of this video, I think you know that the 4 and 2 points should be right. Like that, because we don't want to stack like that. So these themes come up time and time again. Hope it's good. So the only one left in this opening roll series is when we minus split. I'll do that sometime next week and then I'm done. Maybe I'll do one review of all of them, sort of like just going through some key things rather than technically like each one, just the themes might be useful. I'm going to watch them all back maybe over Christmas or something. And there is a quiz on BG Studio, I think, where they have third rolls and Thomas Tenlin got 54 in a row right, and maybe I'll spend my whole Christmas trying to beat that score. I don't know, maybe I'll vlog one of them. But yeah, so all I've got left to do is when we start off with a 5-2 split, 5-1 split, and a 4-3 split. Not 4-3 split, 3-2 split, like that. So just 3 more. I'll do those all in one video because they're all kind of like splits at the back with a small split, 1, 2 or 3. I've done the 5-4, done the 4-3, I've done all the point making, I've done the 6-5 run, I've done the 2-1 slot, and that will be it. Then we'll have got the GTO responses for everything. How long have we been going? 45 minutes or so? 37 minutes, 38 minutes, all done. Hope it was useful. Take it easy.